Welcome to Ask an Escort. I'm Sierra Pine, and today I have a little something to get off my chest about erectile dysfunction. So, erectile dysfunction. I have, of course, encountered it a number of times in the past. I have been frustrated by it. I have watched people who suffer from it be frustrated by it. I do not judge. I know that those things have minds of their own, that all kinds of things can contribute to erectile dysfunction, whether it's chronic or just, an occasional issue. There's nerves, there's performance anxiety, there's prescription medications, age. I get it. I understand. It's an issue some people deal with. It's not your fault most of the time, and I sympathize. What I do not sympathize with, and what does make me completely insane, is how some men handle it. I get a lot of, "this never happens," which I've heard that enough times that it cannot possibly be true of everyone who's said it. I get a lot of, "oh, this is weird," like it's never happened before. But more than anything else, I get guys acting as if it weren't happening at all. So that's the one thing that drives me insane. And I would just ask anyone watching who ever has any erectile issues, please acknowledge it, own it, or at least don't pretend it isn't happening. We don't have to stop and have a discussion about the fact that your penis is comatose, despite the fact that I've been going to town on this thing for 20 minutes, giving it my A game. But don't act like everything's as expected if it isn't, and that we can progress normally if we can't. Which brings me to my biggest beef with these ED deniers trying to put a condom on it. What do you think you are doing? Trying to put a condom on a penis that is not fully erect is like trying to put a condom on a Jell-O jiggler. It's like trying to successfully shove a roasted marshmallow into a condom. It is like trying to get a condom onto a penis sculpture made from wet sand. If you have ever wrestled with a duvet cover, then you know roughly what I'm talking about. Stop. It won't work. It brings more attention to your erectile issue. It's embarrassing for both parties, and it's potentially unsafe. If you're trying to get a condom on a non-erect penis, you're probably not going to get it on there properly. You're probably not going to get it on there all the way. It's going to be halfway on. And that's not, you can't have sex like that. Not safe sex anyway. And if and when you do get a condom on successfully, yay for you. If you lose your erection between condom application time and insertion into my vagina time, please don't try to stuff your limp penis into my vagina. Do you know what that's like? That's like trying to stuff a Jell-O jiggler into my vagina. That is like trying to cram a roasted marshmallow into my vagina. That is like attempting to shove a penis sculpture made from wet sand into my vagina. And once again, it won't work. It brings more attention to the erectile dysfunction. It's embarrassing for both parties and potentially unsafe. Now, I promise I will make another video on erectile dysfunction at some point with more details about my experience with it and how I address it, a more objective and less angry approach to the topic. But for now, I just had to vent about that a little bit. Probably because just yesterday, I had a client that I was seeing for the second time. First time I saw him, a little while back, he struggled to get hard and claimed quite boldly, "this will never happen again, it's just first-time nerves." Now, that is the first time I've ever heard a man guarantee me that it would never happen again, which once again seems like a very bold statement. Guess what? It did happen again. It happened yesterday, the second time I saw him, and half our time together was spent with him trying to maneuver a roasted marshmallow into a condom and then into my vagina. Did we eventually get to where he was trying to go? Yes, thankfully. But there was a better, less embarrassing, less uncomfortable way to get there. All right, now that I have gotten that out of my system, let me say again that I do not judge men who struggle with ED because they have ED. I know that in most cases it isn't their fault and that there are a lot of causes, many of which are virtually unavoidable. So if you're an ED sufferer, know that I sympathize and I understand how much that sucks. Anyone who thinks a man with erectile dysfunction is less of a man is a heartless asshole, and so on and so on. Thanks for watching this episode of Ask an Escort. I'm Sierra Pine signing off. Leave your comments, questions, commendations, and feeble attempts at hurting my feelings below, and I'll see you next week. Leave your comments, questions, commendations, theories about what the hell happened on Lost below. Questions, commendations, and thoughts on putting mayonnaise on a peanut butter and banana sandwich. Social security number, date of birth below, and I will see you next week.